very awesome and very talented recording artist, Kristen KiVo, in the house with an on-phone interview. And here are just some clips of that interview. Check her out on Reverb Nation at Kristen KiVo. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for spending time with me, KiVo. So what got you into singing? What made you decide you wanted to be a singer?
I did it naturally, almost since the day I was born. I would make up stories about my day, and then I would sing it. I would just sing them all day long, and so eventually my mother put me into some private lessons. And then, of course, school hit, so then I did choir and band, and that's really what happened. Was I guess I shown a natural ability to want to do it. And so my mom made sure that she helped develop that.
Awesome. That sounds very awesome. And we was talking about the 80s Dream Mix piece. How did you come up with the concept for that? What inspired you to make that song?
Well, my mom actually didn't play anything older in my house other than the 80s. There was nothing older than the 80s. So even growing up in the 90s and 2000s, I thought I was listening to new music, but I guess not. And the first moment I realized I wasn't listening to new music is I moved to a new city, a new school, and I was 12. And so I was meeting new friends, and this is the age where you really get into music. And so I was being asked what kind of bands I listened to, and I dropped names like Journey and Whitesnake and Foreigner and Heart and Glass Tiger and just a lot of hair metal bands, you know, and nobody had any idea what I was talking about. And I was so confused how they didn't understand what I was talking about. And that was the moment where I realized that I was a little behind on music, but I don't have any regrets. I really loved the influence of, you know, what my mom played for me. It was just fantastic.
That sounds very awesome. It's very cool. Are you originally from the U.S.?
Actually born in Canada. I grew up mostly in the U.S., but I was born in Canada, and I've lived in Arizona. I've lived in Colorado. I'm now in Oklahoma. I've just lived in a bunch of different places. I've traveled a lot, which might be another reason why I love the music industry so much, because a lot of it has to do with travel. Aside from the music, you know, when you're talking about touring gigs and just getting, it's nothing for me to travel. As a matter of fact, I embrace it and I love it. And it might have something to do with the upbringing I had.
Awesome. And that's very awesome. We look forward to more music from you and hear more of you, KiVo. I do have another question here for you. I guess our last question. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Biggest musical influence. Who's your biggest musical influence, if you have one?
About a solo artist, all completely on his own, Steve Perry. You know, he was fantastic with Journey, but he was fantastic all on his own. I've tried so hard to emulate that man, and I don't even come close, not even close. It's okay, and I've accepted that. But if you are going to have a goal, you better aim high. You know what? Bands like Heart, I love strong female voices as well that just know how to rock your world. Belinda Carlisle, again, we're all going back to the 80s. So these are my mom's favorites, who eventually became my favorites because these are what I was influenced in. But if we're talking about even more modern days, I'm a big fan of Pink, and I'm a big fan of Katy Perry. Again, who've created their own amazing, unique sound and just done their own thing. And I've just been in awe of so many great artists.
That's very awesome. Very awesome. And I won't take up a whole lot of your time here, KiVo, because I know you've been very patient through this with our technical difficulties and everything at the start of this. Quite a trooper you've been. But this 80s remix is on Reverb Nation, right? At Kristen KiVo, at KiVo. Somewhere in an
80s Dream, co-wrote with Bob Cottarella, who's an amazing producer, a Grammy-winning producer. Just a phenomenal guy. But we co-wrote this song again because he knew how much I loved the 80s, so we came up with this concept. So